leads to another. And this is why hope leads to inspiration, which leads to transformation. So it's just magic. It all leads together. So thank you for sharing your hope, inspirational, transformational messages with us. Which takes me on to our next speaker when we start talking about hope, inspiration, and transformation, because Isabela is just pure brilliance. So in the Mayan calendar, she's Noch energy. I know a lot about Isabela. So she's very intellect, she's very practical, she uses her left brain a lot, but she has the heart and the soul of divine love, of really wanting to help people, helping communities, but in an industry that's very male dominated, within shipping and within the sustainability arena. And she is going to be so far, that's the word I'm looking for, so inspirational into her field in the shipping industry. How many amazing, powerful women do you know in the shipping industry? Maybe you do, but I didn't. But I know Isabela, and I know that she's really going to start moving mountains, or maybe let's say moving waves in the industry of the shipping and public speaking. We're going to add to that list, my love. So thank you so much for being here with us. I love you so much, and here is your
Thank you so much, Vikki. Wow, what an amazing introduction. And I'm so excited to be here. I know Vikki very well, and Vikki knows me really well. I am learning on the Mayan calendar from her, so it was really nice to hear from Mark earlier. And yes, thank you for having me here. I've been watching the show before, and I'm on the same kind of line with the previous speakers. Some great stories before. Michael's story was quite touching, I have to say. As Vikki mentioned, I have been working in the shipping industry for the last 20 years. And for the last few years, I'm focusing on decarbonization of the industry to renewable energy and digitization. I'm a big passionate of diversity and equal gender and everything. And to my over 22 years in the industry, I have had the privilege to work with amazing women. And through all the process, for me, the most important story I can tell is always trust the process. It's sometimes can be hard, sometimes can be very difficult, especially as the industry has developed. When I started many years ago, I remember, I think I was one of the only few women in the industry. I remember I went to a big event in London. I'm also Romanian originally. I have been living in the UK for the last 20 years. So I just came from Romania. I went to a big industry event with thousands of people, and it was this wave of men, and I was only woman. And in these years, things have changed a lot. There are more and more women, and I'm very proud to see. What I like to see is more diversity and more equality. So in this years I have been, and especially in the last years, I am focusing on personal projects. And one of the projects is about women with women, and of course with anyone else that would like to join, where I'd like to have people telling us their stories and what project they work. There are lots of startup companies. Some of them, they are women with great ideas, like technology, for example, like blockchain. I know many women who are gurus in this field, and they're bringing this kind of digitization into the shipping industry, an industry that we do need transparency and transparency and digitization. So yes, that is something I'm very passionate. I like to see more people invited at the round table from every single part of the world, talking about their daily problems, what they are passionate about. This year, during the pandemic, um, as it happened the whole world, meeting people in person has been very difficult. I have missed so much meeting my peers, my mentors, talking physically, and I have participated to some online summits about the alternative energy. I work with a scientist about the hydrogen fuel cell. I like to be part of a revolution where we can travel, or we can have goods being transported to us using green energy that doesn't harm the planet. And I have realized this year how there are so many events or so many forums in the industry, in the maritime industry, that not all the side of the women are represented, and there are still so many things that are not discussed or understand. So yes, I have come up with an idea, which is called the Ladyship at Round Table, which I'm hoping to be able to launch it in the next month, where I'd like to invite every woman who is interested in the shipping industry, the young generation who would like to learn about the shipping industry, to come and join us, to come to listen, to ask questions, and for everyone to understand what really shipping is and how our day-to-day life is around the transport industry. And in the shipping in any way, can be by sea, by plane, or by land. And I would like to bring topics about finding passion. I believe there are so many new fields coming into our industry, from AI to data analysis to renewable energy, and where scientists and they can come and teach people or give new ideas, new prospects to everyone, and of course to create that healing process in the shipping industry that is required. From my side, what I would also like to say as my personal story, I mentioned at the beginning, was trust the process. Always be yourself, no matter how hard it is, no matter what the society or the corporation or the company is, and no matter how difficult the industry we are is, we always have to be ourselves. Somebody mentioned earlier about being raw and real, and this is the way that going forward, in whatever capacity, whatever industry we are, whatever we're trying to bring, this is the two words I would suggest everyone to be: real and raw. Be passionate and find have fun while you're doing whatever you're doing. So I'm so grateful for being here, Vikki. Thank you for having me. And I hope I have said very briefly, I share my story and make the shipping industry a bit more interesting for people, and would like to learn more about it. Thank you.
You are welcome, my love. And yeah, when you said somebody said something about raw and real, I was like, that's me. I use it all the time. We've got to be raw and real, and that's the thing. And trust the process. And this is the thing about Hit Talks that I love, is that we sometimes have inspirational. Well, sorry, Vikki. We always have inspirational speakers, but sometimes we have speakers that have spoken so many times. And sometimes we have speakers that are just starting out, that don't speak all the time, and it's raw and real. This is the thing. We all have stories. We all have messages of hope, inspiration, and transformation. And that's why I love being able to give people a voice. And you are going to move waves, as I say, Isabela. So thank you so much for sharing with us.